Whatever,
Apparel?
how you pronounce it?
Apparel?
Yes, and I've had people actually come up to me,
Oh
and
yeah.
they've been telling me like, hey, you do kung fu and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I do the real martial art.
Oh yeah.
And then like I've had even wrestlers come up to me and ask me about it, and I'm like, look, I didn't got time for you people. I'm just here in the mall, going to have to buy something and go home.
Yeah.
But I have actually had good people to come up to me. They're like, oh, I know that channel. They're like, hey, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, make sure to support, the way.
That's
And I've had good people come up to me about it, and I've had negative people.
wow.
But either way, it's pretty cool, though.
That's
I won't
great.
lie.
That's great.
It
It's
feels good to support, the FMK, even all the way in Canada.
That's great, cause I'm training somebody online, and somebody came up to me at the grocery store too, you know, and he's all the way like in Connecticut too, so it's great to get to basically build on that, and just keep it going, you know.
And that's the good thing about it.
Yeah.
I feel like FMK has grown so much since I started watching your videos. Like even your books too. Like I've read like all your books almost now.
Oh
And like
yeah.
they provide good information.
Oh yeah.
And like it helps me get a clearer understanding. Not just about martial arts, but like life too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm
And
glad
I'm
it
actually hoping
helps.
for like a new book.
Yeah,
Maybe a Reflections 2 or something like that.
yeah, like it's gonna. We're working with the guy Ben, and it takes time to get that stuff out there. And plus, it's hard because he's basically like donating a lot of his time to help out with this stuff. It's just so much work to get a book out there. So
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I don't even know how I could do it. Like if I were able to publish a book and how it'd be professionally done. Like I like the one edited by Jenny. I like how it's worded. It's pretty easy to understand. It gets right to the point, and I like that book.
oh
The
yeah,
way the one she edited.
oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, cause that one was just basically like I wrote it, and then she just like made the edits really quick, and it was very quick, like the
Because I
one.
feel like Reflections went like very deep in its wording.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
that
in comparison to the other books.
yeah, yeah, the reflections took a lot of time with Ben. He put a lot of time into doing that one, so. But yeah, like these videos is the main thing that I'm promoting right now, and then the books it'll have to take a lot of time, because just basically imagine transcribing all my videos into Word and then editing it all. You know how long that would take?
That would take too long.
Yeah, it'd take a lifetime almost, so that's why like the books are not gonna just gonna be on hold for a while.
Well, I mean, you've got enough information here. Like, I haven't read all of the books. Just I've broken into some of them.
Yeah,
It's gonna take me some time to actually complete them. Like, I have a lot of Bruce Lee books too that
yeah,
I've put a lot of my time into reading.
good.
But I also like to read your books because it's a different concept,
Oh yeah.
and I find it very intriguing.
Yeah, it's great that you spend that time like reading and studying, and it's the
Yeah,
same.
whenever I'm like sore in bed and like I can't move from training, I like to just read.
Yeah, that's great. See,
I
that's
don't
that's
even I don't even play games like video games or any of that bull crap.
yeah, yeah. See, that's what's missing in a lot of people's training is they don't take the time to read, like read something significant, and that's why there's a lot of the people they don't really understand what it is.
Or they're too lazy to bother.
Yeah,
To me, books is a good way of investment. I mean, it's investment on your knowledge.
yeah,
As long as you're willing to, read it on a regular basis.
yeah, yeah,
That's up to you.
yeah. Cause
But
even
for me, I like to make my money count.
yeah, yeah. Cause I read so many books, you know, like when I started training in the martial arts and I really got deep into it, I read a lot of books, but now it's like I don't even read that often because I'm constantly like making videos, you know. So it's like I'm like in a teaching phase right now, making videos and teaching and spending time with the family. But like right now, when you have that extra time, you it's really good to read a lot, you know.
Yeah, and also a lot of books aren't cheap either. Like I've searched up some Osho books aren't cheap either.
Yeah,
Cost a pretty penny.
yeah, yeah,
And like I
yeah.
like his teachings. Like I like to watch his channel and his videos. But like reading his book is pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like reading his books more than watching the videos because I get more out of the books, you know. Because like when I read the books, it gives me time to kind of like reread every sentence if I want to go back to it, you know, and just kind of
Yeah,
like
like you could just kind of keep like a marker on where you left off, and
yeah, and it really gives me time to reflect on what he's actually saying. So
instead of just being a listener,
yeah,
you could actually read what he's saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
yeah, I spent like over $600 on his books, and I've read like a lot of them. Like I still keep reading it. Like the book that I'm reading right now, it's still from his book. You know, I'm always like reading his books. You know, but you know it's just amazing. But the thing is that when I read his books now, it's more like just reiterating what I already know, but just in a different way. You know, so it's basically when I read his books, it's helping me teach better. You know, because then I could have a like more insight on a certain concept that I want to express.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I like how you implemented, the weapons training. I really think that's an important aspect that a lot of schools have just forgotten about.
Yeah, I mean, I was at first concerned about the dangers involved with it because it's highly dangerous, but then slowly, you know, through time, I started to realize, especially with these new laws that passed with the concealed carry, even in Chicago, like they're like in order to carry a gun now, all you need is like 16 hours of course training, and you gotta, you know, go through all the background checks, and then you get your concealed carry license. So essentially, these people are like becoming black belts in 16 hours. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it also got me to realize like how the law is basically taking the responsibility away from me as far as like doing my best to try to ensure that my students or disciples are, you know, that they're not abusing what I'm teaching them. And then when you integrate weapons into the training, it forces the law to get involved to control like the practitioner's like expression of what he's learning, you know. And that basically it I think is so important to integrate it, especially in this time, to kind of show that this is not a game. Like when you're using weapons, this is not a game that you play around with. This is like serious business. And when people start taking it more seriously, then they should realize that, hey, you know, like this is not really for ego enhancement. This is like for protection and your survival and like eat that, and also like artistic and creative self-expression and like bettering yourself opposed to like destroying people based on like egoistic reasons and stuff like that. So
And also, I've noticed that when you do nunchuck training for a while,
yeah,
like it actually burns your arms. Like you can feel a great workout in it.
yeah,
So that's another good thing too.
yeah, yeah. It enhances the physical fitness training. I mean, it really helps because one time this one guy stopped by my school and he asked to buy some nunchucks, and he was like really like ripped, you know, like he was like he was like very defined. And he said that one of the things that he does is he uses the nunchucks to basically define his muscles to even further extent. And it really does make sense, is because, you know, when you move the nunchuck in all those different angles, like it works the muscles in ways that, you know, calisthenics
A
and weight,
push-up can't do.
yeah, like calisthenics and weights just can't do, you know. So there's an aspect to that that really increases your physical fitness as well, you know. So I'm very happy to, you know, incorporate that training into what we're doing, because you know, now there's really no limits. You know, I could just train however I want to train and not worry about, you know, like um you know, worry about all these things that I was worried about in the past, you know. So it's just kind of like, you know, you give somebody a gun and hey, you know, it's up to them whether what they're gonna do with it. They can either use it to protect themselves, or they use it and they end up in jail. You know, so essentially, I'm like there to, you know, try to advise them on what the laws are and try to advise them to make smart decisions, and you know, and train. You know, have them train. You know.
And if somebody like breaks in their home, at least they know how to use them to protect their family, right? At least
Yeah.
it's there for that.
Yeah. I mean that, and then, like I said, you know, like there's certain things that cannot be taught in video that you're gonna have to figure out um, to see, you know, certain decisions that you choose to make in life that will enhance your ability to survive. You know, because there's ways of training that will enhance your survival. You know, with these weapons. You know, to a great extent. You know, but just like basically, you know, like these people like the NRA, they're fighting for our rights to carry these firearms. Those rights and the change of law makes a huge difference in our lives. You know, because now they're saying, hey, you know, you're allowed to carry it as long as you follow these guidelines. And then you follow those guidelines, now it changes a lot of different things. You know, like when you start carrying a firearm with you everywhere you go, it changes a lot of different things. You know, like your training will end up changing, you know, because now you have that firearm with you everywhere you go.
I
You know,
completely agree.
yeah, so, and you know, it's a different type of training, and it's different for everybody. You know, some people, you know, depending on what type of lifestyle you live, you know, your training might be focused on different areas, you know.
I